Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another year of NBA basketball and another year of second round failure for the Sixers. It's Sunday night. Emotions are still raw, but unlike the Sixers, the Cousins always come through. So, Cousin Tony, it's episode 99, man, but I want you to give it to me, bro. Give me your raw feelings on the Sixers and their future in less than 60 seconds. Go for it.
You got it. It's going to take me like 10 seconds. Process is officially over. No more excuses. Goodbye, Doc. Goodbye, James Harden. Maybe goodbye, Joel Embiid at some point. Not that I want to get rid of him, but these are the
Mhm.
things that tend to happen when
Yeah.
things like this happen. Because at some point, Embiid's going to be sick of this. And not that he didn't, do his best to help the cause. This would have been yesterday when this releases. So he stunk as well. They all stunk. Everybody, they all stunk equally.
Hmm.
They played half a game, and then kudos to the Celtics for just blowing their doors off.
Yeah.
So to wrap it up, the process is officially over. I will not allow you to get excited for this team as a title contender anymore. I do not care. You can call me bad bearer of bad news, Debbie Downer. I will not allow you to do that anymore. So there you have it.
So you're saying if LeBron comes over with Bronny and we get rid of Tobias, we get rid of James, and we still got Embiid, we got Maxi playing at a high level, you still wouldn't get excited?
No,
No.
there's like a black cloud over that facility, and it's just not happening, man.
Yeah, man. Sad, sad news. We'll leave it at that. 1983, I believe, is the last time they won. So I was 8 years old. I don't remember it vividly. So it's just been a lifetime of Sixers failure. Sorry, Giannis, it is a failure. Um, this was the year we had our chances. Game 6, we blew it. You knew that was going to happen. Game 7, but it
Yeah.
just the way that it happened wasn't cool. I was hoping for at least a game, maybe keep it close until the end, and here we are. So what do we have going on for episode
Yeah,
99? Let's
man.
flush that and let's move on to some Cousins excellence, baby.
Absolutely. This is as the commission called it, our Gretzky episode. So episode 99, man. So let's just real quick transition into round 2 of your NBA stock up, stock down, hobby wise. I know you got a couple players that you've been tracking, and some that have now fallen off a cliff. 2 Sixers in particular.
Uh-huh.
But tell me who's up and what you think that we're looking at hobby wise going forward.
Yeah, so we already did a round 1, obviously. Round 2, all the games are over. We know who advanced into the conference finals. So NBA round 2, stock up, stock down. We'll go with stock up first. And of course, that man, he's still the man, Mr. Hemi Butler, is doing his thing with Miami. They vanquished the New York Knicks. What can you say about the guy? He missed the game and still was able to carry and put his team on his back and do his thing, bro. He's one of the few. To me, what he's doing right now, I think it solidified him as a Hall of Famer. Um, to continue. I don't know how many conference finals he's been to, but if he can bust through and get past the Celtics, I mean, that would be insane. So, you know, the Hemi watch is on, bro. I know. Here's one thing I can count on: him giving you everything that he got every game. There's no quitting the guy, even if he's down 40. He's still gonna go out there and play hard. If he got to knock somebody out, he's gonna do it. So Hemi, Butler, stock up, keep an eye on him in the hobby.
Have you
Now,
heard the conspiracy theory of who his daddy is?
yes, I have Michael Jordan.
Isn't that interesting?
So Michael Jordan apparently had a tryst with a female, and
No, not Michael.
yeah, Mister, the King, Sir Michael Jordan's. Well, I mean, again, this is all
Yeah.
a rumor.
Hey,
No, there's
it's all
no,
rumor. Yeah,
but
it's
yeah, apparently, he has an illegitimate son that's dominating the NBA right now,
yeah.
which is funny because his two other sons couldn't ball worth a lick,
Yeah.
but
So they
somehow
got
Jimmy Butler,
then they must have got their skills. Those two must have got their skills from their mama. But
yeah,
and real
yeah,
quick before you go to the next guy, I
yeah, yeah.
saw the movie Air.
Oh
I
yeah.
actually watched it. I did watch it. It was actually, it's very nostalgic, man. Very nostalgic. I was not,
So what?
it's not gonna win any Oscars or anything like that.
I heard it was.
Oh well, if it does, then great. I mean, it
I
held
mean,
my attention.
so okay. I mean,
Yeah, it
that's
held
pretty
my
good since
attention.
you don't watch movies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't watch many movies, so but it did hold my attention. So if you're a
And correct
sports
me if I'm
fan,
wrong, but they really don't have Michael in the movie.
no, 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 not. I mean, there's like little snippets that they play then later on, but like as far as like the actor or him in the actual movie, no, it's like a, how they do, how they used to do in Seinfeld where they would show George Steinbrenner like from behind or from the side. They kind of do that with Michael. Like it's more so the star of the show is his mother,
Yeah,
so she was kind of, yeah, she's the main deal with, along with the people from Nike. But yeah, it was cool though. It was all right. I
good
liked it.
story.
So, but
Sounds good.
yes,
Very
sir. So
interesting. I
go
might
ahead.
have to look
Who
that up.
else you got?
So now, what I wanted to do with the stock up, stock down is I wanted to pick all the four teams that were in the second round. So a player from each team or multiple players from each team. So obviously, Hemi Butler from the Heat. So number two for the Lakers, since they advanced, to me, the most dominant player on the floor was Anthony Davis. Defensively, he was an animal, rebounding machine. Um, his just overall presence, what he was doing, to me, really solidified him. I think as Anthony Davis goes, the Lakers go. If he can stay healthy, bro, they're going to be tough. Obviously, LeBron's going to do his thing. He's going to, average a triple double. You expect the LeBron to get his.
Yeah.
Um, but with Lonnie Walker stepping up, you got Reeves. The boy just came out of nowhere and he's like playing like he's John Stockton out there doing craziness. So they got a lot of guys contributing. D'Angelo Russell's another big pickup. If they do win this NBA championship, I give this to their general manager, Rob Lowe. Like he has if you know what I'm
Yep.
saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like dude looks like he's a, stunt double.
I know. It freaks me out when I see that guy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, is that? Never mind. Yeah.
I forget his real name, but I call
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
Rob Lowe. But
Yeah.
yeah, what he's done since the trade deadline, getting rid of
Yeah.
Westbrook and just a bunch of dead weight and picking up guys that have been contributors. He's
Which is
done an
hard to
excellent.
do in the
Yeah,
NBA like that and get it to click. You know what I mean? Look at the Mavericks, teams like that to try to. It's
yeah,
not easy to do that in the NBA. So
nah, man.
yeah,
But
definitely props to him for pulling that off.
yeah, so yeah, man, they were dead in the water, and then they picked up these guys, and I was looking at them, once they made those moves, I said, bro, if they can make the playoffs, they're gonna be, I thought they were gonna get like an eighth seed, and that they were gonna be able to knock off Denver,
Yeah.
but they kind of moved up in the rankings, so this is gonna be interesting coming up, and with my third, which would be for the Denver Nuggets, it's obviously Mister. This pains to say it, Mister Nikola Jokic
Listen,
doing his thing.
the process is over, and us hating on Jokic is over. No more. No
I don't
mas.
know, no hating on Jokic. There's never been any hate on Jokic.
Yeah, I know.
Let,
But
let
I
me let
just,
me clarify everything because there's this misnomer that Oz hates Nikola, and I've said it a million times. I
yeah,
do
I know.
not
You've
hate
said it a million times.
Nikola Jokic. I just didn't think. I don't think you can give someone three MVPs in a row without that person having any type of hardware.
Yeah, it's
And
fair.
they want to say it's a regular season trophy, but to me, three MVPs that solidifies you up there with the best of the best to ever play the game. And you have to be in the top 10 conversation with three MVPs, and he's not there yet. So
It's fair.
that's the only thing. Jokic is great, man. Awesome player, and he's playing like it. He's taking his team along with Jamal Murray. They're doing their thing. So, thumbs up to Mr. Jokic. Obviously, he's already kind of like the darling in the NBA, which makes me laugh. A lot of people say he doesn't get any love in in the hobby, and I'm like, I think you're smoking crack. He gets plenty of love because it's like if you would look comparing Jokic to Embiid, numbers don't lie. He's like 10 times worth what
Yeah.
Joel Embiid is. So Jokic does get love. Now, with that being said, our fourth player, Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum. You know what? I salute you, bro. Hats off. Um, did an awesome job tonight, solidifying it with 51 points, This was his breakout game. He was struggling in the series, for all intents and purposes. He got hot at the end of game 6, which saved their season. And then he continued, on freaking fire, and basically handled the Sixers by himself. And dispose of them. So yeah, man, Jason Tatum, stock up. Another hobby darling. How much this is gonna propel him? It'll probably a little bit, but I still think in order for him to get to the next level, he has to win. Because it'll be, again, they made it to the NBA Finals last year.
Right.
They're talking about we owe you one, you know, unfinished business. So I think they obviously need to get past Miami, and then of course whoever they face in the
Fair
finals.
enough. Now, on the other side, you got all these guys that are up, but now you have dudes that are not so much. So talk to
Yeah.
me about those guys.
All right, so we're gonna go with the Knicks, and I was trying to figure out who exactly stunk it up for the Knicks, and to me it was Julius Randle. He played really, really soft. Um, Said a lot of soft things, and
Yeah,
just
let's.
overall wasn't there. And I love what the Knicks are doing. Um, Brunson is playing like a freaking animal, like one of the top players in the league. But Julius Randle, for whatever reason, he came up really, really small, and you know, he just wasn't able to. For as much as he was doing in the regular season, it just didn't translate into the postseason. So stock down, Julius Randle.
Gotcha. So these next couple guys, run right through them because I want to get to this. You have a good question about that ties all this stuff together. But give me the last three groupings that you have. 'Cause I want to get to this. Like I said, you have a pretty cool question I want to get to.
Yeah. So second team was the Golden State Warriors, and to me, the people that just didn't show up were Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole. Those guys disappeared, especially Jordan Poole. They paid him a lot of money. He made a big when they made the run last year. He really contributed. This year, not so much. I don't know what happened. Kind of like lost his powers and was just shooting bricks. And Klay Thompson was just not non-existent. So Curry didn't have the help they needed to get through, especially with the way that the Lakers are playing. Then we have the Phoenix Suns, who, when the trade was made for Kevin Durant, seemed like the obvious pick, but with Chris Paul going out again and Kevin Durant kind of, he was there, but he was missing a lot of open shots. He didn't have that KD performance that we were looking for
Yeah.
against Denver. So I'm gonna say stock down. Obviously, Kevin Durant going to another team hurts himself, and then not making it happen. And of course, Chris Paul, his legacy continues to falter over and over. And last but not least, your team, my team, everyone's favorite team, the Philadelphia 76ers. It's tough to say Joel Embiid is a stock down, but what can you say? If you can't get out of the second round, especially with this team, we're going to have to say it is. After winning the MVP, I'm going to have to go stock down Joel Embiid because when it mattered the most, you disappeared. Same thing with James Harden. If whatever did James did play up to his potential, we were kind of unstoppable. We could roll
Mhm.
through anybody, but he was just so up and down. So the guy, he's on his last legs for an NBA career. Sounds like he's probably going to go back to Houston. And with the Sixers, it's who knows what the hell's going to happen. Sounds like it's going to get all blown up. Like you said, the process is over. So stock down. We got Julius Randle, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and James Harden. Now, with that being said, I was just thinking about it. We still obviously have the teams that are left in there. We got LeBron and the Lakers going against Jokic in Denver, and then we have Hemi Butler going against Tatum, Brown, and the crew. Now, in your opinion, what benefits the hobby more? Number one, LeBron winning again. Number two, Jokic winning his first championship. Or number three, Tatum winning his first championship. So out of those three, which one do you think would benefit the hobby more?
Good question. The hobby as a whole, I think, stands to grow when legends keep growing. So for me, it would have to be LeBron. Uh, I just think like the uptick. Jokic and Tatum probably a little bit quicker uptick, but I'm just thinking as a hobby as a whole, collectibles as a whole. When you have your greats, your LeBrons, your Jordans, Bill Russells, things, guys like that, where they become even greater than they are, I think that benefits the hobby as a whole.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't think now when if he wins, I don't the cards are not going to shoot to the moon. No, I don't think anybody's cards are going to shoot to the moon anytime soon. When you talk about these guys like this, I think the only time you're going to see things like rise up out of nowhere is maybe a rookie does something crazy. But like if Tatum wins, how much higher can his prices go? I could be totally wrong on what I'm saying, but I mean they were super high. I mean everything was, and then it came back down. Um, Definitely an uptick, but I don't know that it takes a huge leap. But like I said, to get back to what you're saying, I think it's LeBron just because it's further cements his legend
Mhm.
as the second greatest basketball player of all time. So
We'll always have that debate, sir, and I'm on board with you. Others tend to disagree. Um, I agree. I agree. LeBron winning another one, that would just, again, will his cards go back to where they were pre-pandemic? Probably not. But I think he's dipped a long way. And again, a lot of it had to do, obviously, with the decline in with the pandemic and everything, and coming
yeah,
off at the peak. But his play and the way the Lakers were playing at the beginning of the year contributed to it as well. So for him to come back, after trade deadline, get those players and to lead his team to another championship, it would obviously give a big boost from the precipitous fall that had happened to, getting it close to where it was a few years ago. So I think that would definitely help. And then Jokic, he already has the two MVPs. So if he were to get another, a championship on top of that, I think that now, I talk a lot of smack, but about getting three MVPs in a row. But now you get the hardware with, you know,
yeah,
MVPs. Now you're talking champion, two-time MVP. So that would be a big boost because there's a lot of people out there that are counting on him that have been collecting Jokic based upon the MVPs. Now, if he can get that trophy, similar to Jason Tatum, bro. Listen, Tatum has been the hobby darling for the last 3, 4 years. You always talk about Tatum. They're like, oh man, he's only 20 years old. You keep hearing that.
yeah,
Obviously he's older than that, but he's still a young dude. And for him to win one, I think would take him and his collectors, because the thing is, there's so many people that have collected Tatum and that are banking
mhm,
on him. So I think if he were to win it, bro, it's here comes all the car. You know what I mean? So it's like you're
yeah,
gonna see Tatum heaven out there for all these guys. I told you, I told you.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I don't think it jumps up like that. I will say like the LeBron, I think for his long-term value, it absolutely, man. Like that's a lot to me. That's a long-term bump. If he wins now, it's a especially like if he gets MVP or something like that, like just gets like Finals MVP.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I just for some reason I don't see these cars jumping crazy,
And here's the
crazy
thing: it's
high in
not so much
price.
that they're gonna get crazy, crazy high, but what you got to understand with the hobby, it's all opinion based, it's all narrative based.
Mhm,
So with these three particular guys, there's higher ups, big people that put tons of money into these cards, and they
yeah,
will, they create the narratives, and they
I got
will,
you. Yeah,
push these narratives. So if any three of these guys were to win, believe you me, the powers that be will make it known. This is the anointed one, and this is why you should buy this card. And these are the values, love it or hate it. And that's kind of like what happens. And there's other players that get thrown by the wayside that you would think would be worth more than these guys, but once those narratives start to go, it's kind of like a snowball effect, and there's not really anything you could do to stop it. It's just like you either buy on, you either get on board, or you're just like, not buying
yeah.
that guy. That's BS.
It's like me passing on that digital like Mike Tyson card. I was like, I'm missing. It's like there's a Leaf card out there. If you guys see it, you know what I mean. It's just something that I'm like, huh, I don't know. Speaking of cards, sir,
Hmm.
we talked about commish. Thank you. It's kind of a topic he threw us today. It's funny how sometimes things come up in text and like, yo, that's exactly what we could talk about. So Thank you to Kamish for the hockey assist on the Gretzky episode. Let me ask you, man, what is the worst type of card, in your opinion, that a manufacturer can produce?
That's a good question, man. And we all came to the conclusion the worst card is a card that comes out and it's usually obviously a patch card. And you have the player, let's just say he plays for the Eagles, and then the patch is of, let's just say, the Saints. So he just recently got put on the Eagles, but then, I think it was a Darren Sproles card is the example that we had. So they came out with him in the Eagles uniform with the Saints patch because they didn't have a game worn patch for him for the Eagles. So now you have this banging ass card, which, is a beautiful card, and the patch is beautiful, but it's mismatched. It's the same player. He played on both teams, but how the hell are you going to have a card, especially
Oh,
if you're a fan of, like, just say the Eagles or of the Saints? It's just not, you're not going to be a fan of both. I mean,
yeah.
some people are, but you're not, you know what I mean? So it's like it just doesn't make sense to have one player in his uniform and then a patch of another team. It just, to me, it just totally just takes any kind of value. The aesthetics are not pleasing. So I don't know. What are your
Right.
thoughts?
Yeah, I know. I saw there's been a bunch of TO cards that I've seen that so he was only with the Eagles the one season. So he gets, so then 2000 there's a bunch of 2005 cards, for the next season where it says Dallas Cowboys, but he's in his Eagles uniform.
Hmm.
It just looks odd to me. I'm like, yeah, this is not it. Like you said, it's like mismatch. So,
Oh, that
dude,
that's just like,
yo,
ugh.
that would drive my OCD, my collecting OCD crazy. I'm like, yo, look at this. This guy's in this thing, but it says the other team.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
but to even
the
have
only,
a cowboy and an eagle and one that's ugh.
yeah, yeah. The patch, like, yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but if anything, it's super unique. It's
Mhm.
obviously a conversation piece. It's like, wait a minute, why is it a Saints patch with an Eagles
Yeah.
thing? But yeah, I'm with you on that. Maybe there are worse things, but that just came to mind. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling these mismatched cards. So
I
just
mean,
have it.
maybe like the only one I think would be of interest or value would say be a Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls uh, patch, and then of course the Wizards, him in a Washington Wizards uniform. Maybe if he, they had a game worn patch that they just wanted to get him quick out when he
Yeah.
joined the Wizards. Maybe the Bulls logo with a Washington Wizards. Other than that, you know what I mean? Like he's the goat, but
Yeah, he's the exception to the rule. I think you could do anything Jordan, it'll
or
be.
maybe what would you think about a Brady with Tampa Bay uniform and then a Patriots patch?
Yeah, no, I don't think they would do it.
No,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I think Jordan, like I said, I think Jordan is the exception to the rule. I mean, even his sticker autos are crazy. I mean, anything,
yeah,
either memorabilia wise or autograph wise, for him is off the chart.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So that's just one of our little quirks for the day. Thank you, Mr. Commish.
So
So
hopefully, Fanatics is listening. Panini definitely wasn't, but Fanatics, just so you know, we are not fans, and when the cousins speak, you must listen. Yep. Match your patches, match your uniforms.
here you go. So listen, man, episode 100 is coming up.
Mhm.
We're so proud of getting there. And not only did we collect, but we've evolved as collectors. I think we've evolved a little bit as content creators.
Mhm.
Little bit. So let me ask you, what was one of your weaknesses that you worked on and make it a strength? And then tell me something that you feel you still need to work on as a content creator, as the content creator that you are.
It's funny. It's funny to say that, because it's like we're just two dudes, two cousins, that just decided to hop on this and talk about, the passion of collecting cards. So to say that we've done 100 episodes is it really is. When you think about it, it's insane. And talking to a few people, they're like, "Bro, that's the key when it comes to doing content is being consistent and making sure you never miss a day." So it's just like, even if we're ass, which I don't think we're ass, but even if we were, at least we were doing everything that we could possible to be consistent. And then after a while, people might like, there's something with these cousins. I don't like what they're doing, but at least they're consistent. So you kind of
Yeah.
get people afterwards. But I think we're a little bit better than ass. Um, but for me, as far as where I think I've improved, I always spoke about how I was a shy person and more of an introvert, and the thought of getting on a mic and being able to express myself, on a consistent basis, to me was kind of like it was a foreign concept, and I never thought I'd be able to do it. You pushed me, and to me, I feel like it's the first couple times you're nervous, you get those butterflies, you don't know how it's gonna come across, especially when you're vulnerable and you open up yourself and let, because that's what's going on. We're letting people know our opinions, how we feel, and there's going to be people that agree, and then there's going to obviously be people that don't agree and feel a certain type of way and may even attack you for those opinions. So for me to get past that and just be like, listen, this is me. You're either going to love me, you're going to hate me, or I'm just going to continue to do what I do. I love cards, I love collecting them, I love talking sports. So you know what I mean? Like, everybody has an opinion. You know how the saying goes. So, but for me, as being an introvert and just having that confidence in myself to just say, you know what, just say what you got to say, and at least people will know where Cousin Oz stands. Even though if I speak in the third person, you know what I mean, that it is what it is. But that's kind of like when I do that, it's almost like a how to say, like a defense mechanism, because
I
I'm like
got you.
I'm separating myself from my real self. 'Cause like Cousin Nas, I can say whatever the hell I want. You know what I mean? That gives me like my superpowers. Like the real Oscar Torres, it's like I would never say anything like that. But you throw Cousin Nas and speaking in the third person, hey, that's a whole nother different story. So that's how that works. Um, and now as far as deficiencies where I think I need to improve, I would just more so like becoming a student of the game when it comes to the hobby, the ins and outs, and especially like the cards and the particular sets, and really diving back, going from the beginning, from vintage, and how it all evolved. I got a pretty decent knowledge, but it's like just getting more, like almost got like getting your doctorate degree in being a doctor of the hobby, which it'll evolve over time. But yeah, that's something where I think I need to get a little bit better. So when we go on to these shows where you're talking to people that have been, exclusive vintage collectors or rookie collectors or 1956 tops or whatever it is, and they have like I said, they're doctors in what they do. It'd be good to be able to be on par or on
Yeah,
level to have a conversation where, and instead of just being there listening and soaking it in. So I think that's something that I would need to work on. But what about you, man?
that's dope. I remember the one thing I remember that was when we first started and I would start the show, it was like just this dry monotone like way to come out. And I was like, man, this ain't it. 'Cause I was like, I don't even talk like that. But for some reason when I turned on the mic, that's what came out. It's like, hello, welcome to episode one, blah, blah, blah. And I was like listening back, I'm like, wow, this ain't it, man. I was like, we got to change something up. So luckily we were able to let the eyes lead off, bring that energy, and then take it from there. So that was definitely something that I think I'm a little bit better at it now. I mean, it's just more talking like I usually talk, as opposed to just trying to turn on and off this fake the funk type thing. So
The nice
uh,
professional
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hello,
studio
how are
voice.
you? What do you want?
What,
That
what
type.
what's that guy, Ernie from
Oh, from TNT,
TNT?
Ernie Johnson. Yeah,
Ernie Johnson. You're
I
you're
would
trying
love
to
to.
put on your Ernie Johnson voice.
Yeah. And as far as something to work on, I mean, definitely then getting more knowledge in the hobby, that's 1000%, man. I mean, this thing is an endless pit of stuff. So just when you think you have a grasp on something, somebody else comes out with something else. I mean, heck, the other day, Sean from Victory Investments, he's telling us about these prism cards from back in the day
Well, the Pacific.
from Pacific. I
Yeah.
didn't know. It's like, yo, look at these cars, and then he tells us, hey, these are a little more rare than people think. They're the golds, they're silvers. So he put me on it. I was like, he's like, hey, there's a Randall Cunningham one here. I was like,
Hmm.
let me get
Dope.
that. It was dope, man. I should probably get it this week. It was
Nice.
$4. I was like, dude, I was trying not to buy any cards, but when it's a $4 card, it's not that bad. He's like, listen, these cards, when people realize what they are and they're a little bit more educated on them, they're gonna realize that these are probably undervalued and a lot more rarer than what you would think.
Hmm.
So just a little tip out there. I guess we let the cat out the bag, but everybody's gonna be buying all the because we have such power
We
over
do.
the hobby that we we're gonna have to check the Pacific eBay sales and see if we have that much stroke. But
Yeah.
but yeah, and then just as far as something else, is just working on conveying my thoughts a little bit better. Sometimes when I say something, I have like 38 things bouncing in my head, and I'm like, I didn't even finish the first one before I even said the second thing, because I was like, oh man, I got all this stuff and I got to try to get it out. That's like a little bit like Manny, but Manny's worse. So so yeah, that's something, and we'll see if we get better. But dude, to just be coming up on 100 straight episodes is just, it's crazy to think, man.
Mind-boggling, sir. Mind-boggling.
Yeah, yeah. So with that said, man, just a few shout outs to, man, I mean the list is endless, and we did this I think at episode 50.
Yeah.
And just a big thank you to everybody who's come on the show, everybody who listens to the show, comments on the show, DMs, all that stuff, man. It like it goes a long way. Even if it's something where like, hey, I wasn't really feeling this or that, just the fact that somebody takes the time to reach out and tell you, I think
Mhm.
that's awesome. You
Yeah,
know?
man. Yeah. So I always go back to this one. It always stays vivid in my mind because it was the second show, and I just remember saying, anybody that hits us up is a cousin. I mean, you're all cousins. We're all family, and I kind of like wanted to build on that, and I just remember like it was yesterday. The first two gentlemen, we just actually had one guy on last week, Mr. Blaine Thornton, Hail Mary Sports Cards, which was kind of funny. So like we finally had him on, and he was one of the OGs, man, that supported us from the very beginning, and then my brother from another mother, Mr. James Mendoza, Mr. Filipino himself from the Philippines, another Allen Iverson collector, Michael Jackson collector, Karate Kid dude. Like it's like I said, he's my brother from another mother. We do everything. It's just on the opposite ends of the world. Um, and dude, do you remember who our first guy that we interviewed was?
Was that Mad Mike?
Nope.
Oh, and I do not know.
That sir was Corky.
Oh, the Corkmeister. There you go.
Yep. Yep,
Wow.
that was episode number 4. So shout out to Corky. Honestly, the guy, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here because
Hmm.
he kind of set me on my path to collecting and stuff like that. I've said the story a million times. Him talking crap on what I had propelled me just being competitive to where we are today. So shout out to Corky, and then Peter Pac-Man, our man New York City sports cards, Craig, right before I think Rob right before that was obviously Mr. Sports Car Therapist, Rob, everybody's therapist. Everybody loves Rob.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure you've heard of him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
So right, that was episode 9 and episode 10. Just think about that. You had Rob at episode 9 and then Craig. And then here we are talking about the Wolfpack and hosting a trade
Yeah,
night.
that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's like in the hobby, even with your collecting or the people you meet, like it's, man, it feels like time just flies in this thing. Like it's strange, man. A week in the it's dog years all day, man.
Yep.
Like it's like 1 week in the hobby is 7 weeks regular time or something. It just
Yeah.
feels like it's, yeah.
And then, right after that, Alex from Delco Rips, he was able to get us a table, share a table for us to do our first setup at a show at the Fishtown Card Show. And here he is running his own shows now, doing his own promotion. So from there, he talked about how he wanted to get, full time into the business. And here he is, he spoke it into existence on our episode. We were his first interview, and everything that he said he's
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Kudos to him on that, man. It's crazy. Now you're making me think, like, man, this is like, I mean, I've said it from a while back, man. That this is our verbal diary, and we just said, or audio diary, I should say.
Hmm.
And it's gonna be cool, man, to just like, I listen back to our stuff a lot of times just to hear either how the show went or things like that, but just to hear the stories of, oh, the pickups or the things that have happened to us along the
Hmm.
way. And again, man, it was like, here's to 100, and we got 100 more to go yet.
Yeah. And think about this, bro. We were the first to have Mama Breaks. Like I think there was one dude that interviewed her one time before. It was on a YouTube, but we were her first podcast, Mama Breaks, and since then, where she's left us in the dust, and she's like the
Yeah.
hobby queen now,
So
and
you're
just
telling me we're like the bootleg record label when they people go to Motown. I
you
don't know
start
where.
off. with the cousins, and then they hear like you know what? It's like the Apollo, bro. Like the
Okay.
Apollo when you would go out and do your first performance. If you can make it on the cousins or the Apollo, you
Yeah,
can make it anywhere. So
like that.
if we approach you, that means we see greatness. So do not turn us down. That is not good.
I like that. Look at that. Talent scouts.
We are talent scouts. Then
Like
of
that.
course, to this day, episode number 25, the Great Curator, um, still our most listened to episode.
Mhm.
So we could talk all. People could say whatever they want, but when GC is on a podcast, the Great Curator, you're gonna listen, you're gonna take note, and you're gonna have a reaction. So
It's provocative. It gets
it
the
is.
people moving.
No, it's not. Oh man, and then the list goes on and on. Reckless cards, Los the Collector, the Commish, Ultimate Pastime, Sports Card Nobody, even Mr. Ziggy, Wiz the Collector, Ken Carl. Just the list goes on and on. Mr. FD, Jeremy Lee, Victory Investments, Jordan Spector. Listen, bro, we talked to the who's who of the hobby, man. There's not too many people that we haven't spoke to. There's still a few out there that we got to get to. But for the little podcast that could, bro, I'm here to say this to me is amazing. How we came about and where we're at right now and where we're gonna be. I just think it's unbelievable. So shout out to everybody that's ever contributed, that's ever said anything, slid into the DMs, man. We love all you guys. Please keep supporting us. We're gonna try to keep putting out good content for you to hear, listen to watch. What can I say, man? Love you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So with all that being said, Thursday night live episode 100, May 18th, starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a party.
It is. Now this
We've
time
got
it really is gonna be a party.
yeah, we've got a couple people lined up to come through, but in addition to that, we welcome you guys to jump in on the chat. The chat is always fun. The guys that hang out with us, guys and ladies. There's ladies in the chat as well. To hang out it's fun time, and we're gonna give something away. Enough of the shenanigans. I got something. If you have a PlayStation, you're gonna want to tune in. If you don't, you're still gonna want to get it and do it or whatever you want. But I will give it away. It's not gonna be a wheel. I'm just gonna do it Howard Stern style, man. If somebody makes a comment or I just whatever, it's like, hey, you want this? Yeah, all right, bang. That's how it's gonna be. Nothing too crazy, nothing fancy.
Whoever
Uh,
wins the chat.
yeah, maybe something like that. You're gonna have all kinds of craziness going on in that chat. But
Manny, you don't qualify.
yeah, so definitely come check us out. I said, man, I'm super proud of us, reaching that milestone. And like I said, man, this is only the beginning. This is a shorter episode than usual. Usually we do about an hour, but we just wanted to get on here, talk a little bit about the NBA, a little bit of cards, and just kind of just be a little, be thankful for where we are and where we're headed, man.
Yeah, definitely,
So
definitely. And just again, make sure you tune in on Thursday Night Live. It's what's it gonna what do they say? It's gonna be a movie?
yeah,
Is that what they say?
thanks. I'm gonna have to wear my tuxedo shirt again.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm gonna have to get all dressed up. I literally, because dude, it's gonna be a celebration. We're gonna have some fun. We got some special guests coming on board. Yeah, so make sure you don't miss it. It's gonna be off the hook. Now, I just also wanted to bring up. Obviously got the national coming up, so people, if you're going out there, make sure you check out the Wolfpack Trade Night. It's gonna be crazy. Friday of the National. That's at 6 o'clock, right, Tony?
Yes, sir.
And what are the specifics? What's the hotel again? Is that the
Uh,
DoubleTree?
Good question. Right across the street, the hotel is. I'm gonna have to look it up. You think I would know that already, but
Yeah, me too.
I should know that. But this is how. This is another thing that we can work on is being creative and buying time while Tony looks for things on his email.
It's
And
pretty good.
the name of the hotel is the Crown Plaza, right
Crown
across the
Plaza.
street from the main hub at the National. So right across the street, Crown Plaza, 6 to 9 p.m. I think
Yes,
it
sir.
is. So be there.
July 28th, 6 to 9. Obviously, we got the cash bar. We got the live DJs. We're going to have giveaways. You're going to be able to meet such people as a sports car therapist. You're going to be able to meet such people as New York City Sports Cars Craig. You're going to meet such people as Tony Ramos, Mr. Marco himself, cousin Tony, baby, in the
Who that?
house. Ken Sports Card Lessons, and Dave.
And the Oz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he might be able to dance battle the Oz. We'll see.
There you go. There
There's
you go.
rumors. There's rumors
Throw a
of a
couple
dance
dollars
battle.
at me, well, we can go right into it.
That's dope. So listen again. We appreciate everybody. Like I said, shorter episode than usual, but you know, like I said, the Sixers don't show up, but we always show up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know, we're here, in the midst of licking our wounds and getting heat from everybody. And, because when it comes to Philly sports, obviously, cousin Tony and I, we represent all of that. And Philly has been within the last year, you had, the Phillies get to the World Series, they lost. You had obviously, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles get to the Super Bowl and lose. So we were hoping to at least get to the big dance with the Sixers, which will kind of keep the streak going. Obviously, with hockey the way it's going, it's not looking so good. But at least those three sports, we were hoping to maybe get one out of the three. So now it's kind of not so good, not so good.
nope.
But you know what? I can't complain. We had a good year, good run. Let's just hope that at least the Eagles can come through for your boys. It's gonna be a tough. They got the hardest schedule out there,
That's
but
all right.
we got some reinforcements.
Yeah, it's all good. Listen, we are now the officially the participation medal kings.
Mm,
So we gotta,
take it, bro.
yeah, man,
Listen,
we
there's a
got more.
lot of other cities out there, a lot of other fans out there that would kill to be in the shoes of the Philadelphia fans right now.
Yeah, I mean, being like irrelevant is, yeah, it kind of stinks. So I mean, I just watched the game yesterday between well, the Oakland A's were hosting it, and dude, there was more people at the Reading Phillies, than at that stadium. So yeah,
Okay.
that's not cool, bro. But that's another story for another day, man. So listen, Oz, here we go, brother. You know, 100 is on the horizon, and then 101 will be right after it. So
Yeah,
we just keep it moving, man.
that's it, man. Here's to another 100. Cheers to everyone. We're looking forward to seeing you on Thursday night. We love you. Make sure you check it out. And how do they say? Tell a friend to tell a friend. I think
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing that and I'm
So
stealing it, but I don't care. Tell a goddamn friend. Let them know about the cousins. If you love us, spread the word. And we're going to end this like we always do, Sir Tony. And that is keep focused, keep positive, and keep collecting. Hey, yo, Tone, bring the beat back.